Welcome to our AEM Series 2 live training session part 3 using our RB25 swapped Nissan S14. Now in the last video we got our engine fired up and running. We checked our timing with our timing light, making sure that the AEM is synced to the engine, so when we command our timing it's going to be matching exactly what we'd expect. We've also checked our post-start and our cranking fuel so the engine fires up and runs and it idles on its own. This video now we're going to move on to doing the part throttle calibration process for fuel and spark timing. We're going to learn how to integrate our Megalog Viewer HD software so we can build a custom histogram overlay and most effectively and efficiently tune our main fuel table. There's a lot to cover, so let's jump into our live training session so we can get started. Welcome back to our live training session here with our RB25 swapped S14 drift car. In our last video, we got our engine fired up and running on our Series 2 box. We checked our timing with our timing light. We verified that our idle control was working. We checked our post-start fuel. We checked our cranking fuel. And we just did a very basic tune at idle for the fuel and spark timing. So now we have the engine up and running and idling. Now we're going to be taking a look at calibrating our main fuel and spark timing tables for the cruising area of operation. So we're looking at our fuel table here. This is going to be essentially from 0 psi downwards here into vacuum, and from about 1800 RPMs all the way across to as high RPM as we can get here, 7500. This would be the vacuum area of driving that we're going to be concerned with mapping out. We're going to be leaving the full throttle or the boost area of operation for the next video. We're going to look at how to calibrate that, but we're just focusing right here on our fuel tuning and our spark timing tuning. So looking at our spark table, when we jump into ignition here, we're going to find that again from about 1800 here to 7500, from 0 psi and below. This is where we're going to focus on doing our calibration. So I'm going to be showing you the techniques how to accomplish that. Now with our fuel table, we want to go and tune that first. We've made our spark timing table here really low spark timing values, so we have safe spark timing that we don't have to worry about damaging the engine. We can tune our fuel first, then tune our spark timing. By changing our spark timing, it's not going to affect the fuel demands for the engine. So we can always sort the fuel first, then sort out the spark timing. Let's jump back into our fuel table here. So part of the calibration process that we're going to be reviewing here is using the Megalog Viewer software to allow us to capture the data here in our in driving within our data logs in our AEM Series 2 software, then opening up the data logs in our AEM data, exporting out certain channels, bringing them into Megalog Viewer so that we can create a histogram and figure out what kind of actual percentage updates we need to make into our main fuel table. So if you don't have a chassis dyno, or even if you have a chassis dyno, this is going to be a great tuning tool using our Megalog Viewer software. It's going to be speeding up your calibration process. You can essentially drive for 5, 10, 20 minutes, capture your data as you're driving, then come back, put it into the histogram format, overlay it, and then know exactly what kind of update changes we need to make. So it's going to be something that you definitely want to learn how to do. We've covered it into our training course, but we haven't taken a look at it in a live training format yet. So we're going to be including it in this video. So what I'm going to do right now is fire up the engine and allow it to run. The dyno is set up right now. I'm in my part throttle driving mode here. We're going to be starting to drive at about 3000 RPM. We're just going to evaluate what the fuel map looks like. We might need to add more fuel in it. I don't know what's going to happen. We can see our values here are pretty much kind of a flat fuel table below here in vacuum. We find that our values are ascending. Remember that I wiped out the boost comp portion of our boost compensation fuel trim offset for vacuum, so that we're going to be tuning this more as a traditional fuel map, looking at it, and then in boost it is going to be boost comp. So we're going to be exploring just tuning our vacuum area in the kind of the traditional format, and then just seeing how that goes. But we're probably going to need to update a lot in the table here. I'm not suspecting that the values in here are going to be perfect. They're going to need to be definitely adjusted. So at idle, we knew it was way too rich. We had to take the fuel out. Let's see what's going to happen here at the part throttle. Let me go fire it up real quick here. We can see the coolant temperature is about 100 degrees. We need to make sure we're getting up to about 170 degrees, so it's out of any kind of warm-up enrichment. You can see right here, let's see how to get back online. Looks like it kicked me off there. We can see the coolant temperature is going up. We can see the air fuel here is in the 11 air fuel range. That's not terrible. It's going to be leaning out. We know it's in that post-start mode where it's going to be gradually leaning out as it gets warmer and warmer. It also has some warm-up enrichment being applied as well. The warm-up enrichment is applied in conjunction with the post-start, so they both apply at the same time. So once this comes up to operating temperature, I'm going to start to drive it, and I'm going to data log. We're going to be specifically using our O2 feedback value in our process for using our histogram feature in our Megalog Viewer to allow us to figure out what kind of changes we need to make. Now in the previous live training videos, we were simply looking at what this feedback value was showing us and then just altering the table in real time to be able to dial it in. That is one way you can go about doing this. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.